Good morning. So we'll be discussing you can close your books. If you have the question paper with you, you can have it, or if you have a book also, that's fine. Huh? You have the paper, no? All of you? Have a book. Okay, anyway, the questions will be displayed here. Okay. What I thought is, we'll start with polity. We'll not go 1, 2, 3 in this series. We'll start with polity because that had the highest number of questions, 18 questions. We'll discuss that. Why I feel that is, where the weightage is more, from those questions where you can clear easily, like where you can get through the cutoff, we'll discuss that first. Then we'll come from the beginning. Okay. So you can go to the 61st question. If you are in set A, or else it will be different. Is it right? See, most of the people who have written this exam, they are of the opinion that, the polity section was very easy. Okay, it looks easy. You solve the paper, you will come to know how easy or difficult was it is. In my opinion, it was not easy also. At the same time, it was not difficult also. Okay. So the first question, I think most of you can answer. Who was the provincial president of the Constituent Assembly before Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over? It's a very pretty direct question. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. So that is the right answer. What you have to see here is, what you have to analyze here is, you have to know that the questions are coming from the Constituent Assembly also. So tomorrow when you are preparing for some other exam, KPSC or UPSC, you will concentrate more on the Constituent Assembly. You look at the committees, you look who was the chairman, who was the speaker, all these things. You have to be aware of it. So pretty easy question it is. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. Why was he made? It was based on a convention that the senior most member should be made. Based on a French convention. I think we had written it in the notes also. With reference to the Government of India Act 1935, consider the following statements. It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation based on the union of the British Indian provinces and princely states. Defence and foreign affairs were kept under the control of the federal legislature. Which of the statements is correct? So you have to be aware of this also. They will ask you which of them are incorrect. Okay, this time most of them they have access directly. So look at the statements. Look at the first statement. Is it right or wrong? It provided for the establishment of an All India Federation. True? Yes. Chaitra? Vanita? Yes, it is correct. It is correct. But it did not come into force. Okay, it provided for this establishment, but it did not come into force. Second one, defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature. Is it right? Is it right or wrong? Huh? Wrong? Karthik? Right. How many of you say right? How many of you say wrong? See, if you remember, and one more thing, Government of India Act 1935 is very, very, very important. Why? The questions are also coming from it. More, most importantly, our present constitution is based on the Government of India Act 1935 itself. Correct, Alva? So in this aspect, as you all of you told, the first statement is right. Defense and foreign affairs were kept under the control of federal legislature is wrong. Why? Why will a British government give defense and foreign affairs to elected members from India? to the legislature consists of elected members, right? It was under the control of Governor General. Are you understanding? It was under the control of Governor General. So the second statement is wrong. What is the right answer? Option A, one only. Okay. Okay. As per Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of addition, variation, repeal. Choose the correct answer. Huh? A. So we'll do girls versus boys. Okay. What do the girls say? What is the option? What is the right option? Come on. Nari Shakti. Huh? D. 1, 2 and 3. Others? D. Repeal means taking away. All of them are right. Even if you are changing a comma or a full stop, it's considered to be an amendment of the Constitution itself. So all of them are right. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this is a pretty interesting question. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to a money bill in the Parliament? With respect to a money bill in the Parliament. Article 109 mentions special procedure with respect to money bills. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States, which is Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes, but cannot reject it. Amendments to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. Will come 1, 2, 3, 4. Article, okay. What? The fourth statement is wrong. Amendments to a money bill suggested by the Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by the Lok Sabha. You are damn sure that this statement is wrong. So you can eliminate this. Let's come from the beginning. Article 109 mentions special procedure with respect to money bills. Hold on. Most of us are confused with this, so we will not attend this. A money bill shall not be introduced in Council of States. Most of us should know this. This is true. It is introduced in Lok Sabha. The Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes, but cannot reject it. Most of us know this is right. So 2 and 3 are right. Look at the option 2 and 3. So okay, this is fine. So this is wrong because 3 is not there. But till 1, 2, 3 there. We are not sure of 1. What you do is you have to take the risk. Suppose you don't know whether the first statement is right or wrong. You have to take a risk and attempt this question. Don't skip this kind of question. If you don't know A, B, C, D, none of them, skipping this can be accepted. But when there is a 50% chance, take a risk, attend. Why? Because you have to be in the race, right? You have to be, over the cutoff. So take a risk, attend. And option, the statement 1 is right. Because Article 109 mentions the procedure. 110 is what we all know, which defines what is a money bill. So Article 110 consists of telling what is a money bill. Okay, it defines what is a money bill, but 109 tells what is the procedure with respect to a money bill. We know what is the procedure, right? An ordinary bill and a money bill will vary in many aspects. An ordinary bill can be introduced in either house. Money bill, and it will be decided whether it is a money bill or not, is done by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Correct, Alva? So there is a lot of difference. So what is the right answer here? 1, 2 and 3. So we are not here to, I am not come here to teach you facts. What was there in the question paper? We are solving the question paper. I am understanding how our general mindset will be and how we have to solve. So one thing what you have to learn here is, when you are reading something, read it in detail, and after you have read it, revise it. Okay, and when you take a test series, revise the same test series again and again. Are you understanding? So, and when such situations come, take a risk and go ahead. Because if you're not attending more than 80 questions, 75 to 80 questions, you're literally out of the race. Are you understanding? If you calculate all the probabilities, if you're not attending 80, you're out of the race. Okay, so be careful. What is the right option? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, very good question. You think and answer, it is easy itself. The Northeastern Council was established by the Northeastern Council Act 1971. Subsequent to the amendment of Northeastern Council Act in 2002, the council comprises which of the following members? So it is simply asking the composition of Northeastern Council. Governor, Chief Minister, 3 members to be nominated by the President, Home Minister of India. Pravalika. Voice. Answer. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Monisha. Rachel. Is governor a part of it? Yes. Chief Minister? Yes. 3 members to be nominated by the President? Yes. Why they have given this question antandre? Home Minister is the chairman of the zonal councils, all the zonal councils, but is not a part of Northeastern Council because it is a sensitive thing. Northeastern part is first of all very sensitive. So will they prefer their representatives in the council or a person from Delhi or Punjab, presiding over there? So it is, you have to be very careful. Zonal councils, Home Minister is there. Northeastern Council is not there. So what is the right option? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. What you're learning from this, when you're reading constitutional bodies, when you're reading statutory bodies, you will by heart the composition of it. How many members? Who is the chairman? You have to know it. So this is one lesson we are learning. 71. How many delimitation commissions have been constituted by the Government of India till December 2023? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 3? 4 is the right answer. Yavaga. When? 1952, 63, 73, and last one in 2002. Through the 42nd Amendment Act, it was held that this will be freezed for next 25 years because we will control the population. Correct, alva? Again in 2002, it was again pushed for next 25 years. So the next delimitation will happen in 2026. Okay, if you have read the newspaper yesterday, you will come to know about the issue which they are talking about, that the census is getting postponed, right? 2021. How it will have effect on all of these things. So read newspapers. So 4 delimitation commissions have happened. That too, in the last delimitation commission, it did not increase or decrease the numbers. It just rearranged the constituencies. It changed the constituencies allotted to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. No changes were made with respect to the numbers. So current affairs, it is in current affairs. Why? The delimitation is is yet to happen. It is coming, and moreover, the Nari Shakti bill, the women reservation bill, is coming. That will be implemented after the next delimitation. So it was in news. So it is your responsibility to read about it, and it is so simple, very, very simple. The Constitution, through the 71st Amendment Act 1992, amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali, Maithili. First of all, what is 8th schedule? It consists of the official or national languages of the country, which are 22 in number. Every day it was in news. From Karnataka, Tulu was demanded that it should be added. People in Ladakh were protesting. Many, it is in news. So that is what 8th schedule means. But now what is the right answer? 1, 2 and 4. So you feel Nepali is not a part of. It's wrong. Look at the question. The Constitution, through the 71st Amendment Act 1992, amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? So they're not talking about whether these languages are there in 8th schedule or not. They're asking which was added through the 71st Amendment Act. Yado? 1, 2, 3 is the right answer. It is because Maithili is also part of 8th schedule, but it was added through the 92nd Amendment Act. Okay, so one thing what you have to learn here, when you're reading such things, read it in detail. When we're reading 8th schedule, there is no other choice. You have to read it in the pattern itself. Correct, Alva? What are classical languages? There are 6 classical languages which are also mentioned in the 8th schedule itself. Okay, which are the 6 classical languages? Kannada, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, Odia, Sanskrit. Okay, so please have knowledge about this. Now I'll give you 1 minute. Answer this. Online students can also reply. Consider the following pairs. Consider the following pairs. Bharat IAS KAS, Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, Socialist Party, C. Rajgopalachari, Congress for Democracy, Jagjeevan Ram, Swatantra Party, Acharya Narendra Dev. Yes, Rachel. What is the right answer? Mahesh? Sudeep? Renu? What is the right answer? Bharatiya Janasangh, Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee is right. Socialist Party and C. Rajgopalachari is wrong. C. Rajgopalachari established the Swatantra Party. Okay, what you have to understand here is C. Rajgopalachari Swatantra Party spoke for the establishment of a free market economy. Free market economy and socialism are the opposite poles. You're trying to understand what I'm saying? When we adopted our constitution, leaders such as Nehru adopted socialism. What kind of socialism? Democratic socialism, Fabian socialism, Indian socialism, where there is presence of both private and public enterprises. Okay, if you're talking about socialist principles in China or Russia, theirs is forced. They won't allow private individuals to, have their enterprises. But that did not exist in India. At the same point of time, like USA, we did not even have free market economy. C. Rajgopalachari spoke in favor of that. That is why he established the Swatantra Party. So, 2 is wrong. So then definitely 4 is also wrong, no? Congress for Democracy was established by Jagjeevan Ram after emergency. So 1 and 3, which means only 2. Okay. Yeah. Which of the following statements are correct about the Constitution of India? Powers of the municipalities are given in Part 9A of the Constitution. Emergency provisions are given in Part 18. Provisions of the amendment of the Constitution are given in Part 20. Select the answer using the code given below. So what you have to learn here? The parts, schedules of the Constitution you have to remember. Okay, so questions can come from there. Yeah, powers of the municipalities are given in the Part 9A of the Constitution. Definitely correct. Emergency provisions? Correct. Amendment? Correct. 1, 2 and 3 are right. All the 3 are right. Okay. This is a very tricky question. I want all of you to answer this. And it is very easy if you use your common sense. Okay. Which one of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? Interstate trade and commerce is a state subject. Interstate migration is a state subject. Interstate quarantine is a union subject. Corporation tax is a state subject. Done solving it? Anita. C. Why? Interstate, state, interstate, state list, and taxation, how can it be state list? Fourth option is pakka wrong. Interstate, union list. Quarantine, no migration, trade and commerce, you forget it. Anything associated with interstate, how can one state decide about it? If there is something related to Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka cannot decide for Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu cannot decide for Karnataka. There should be one more authority that has to decide. So it is very easy. C is the right option. Okay, so interstate quarantine is a union subject under the union list. Okay. I want all of you to answer this. Very easy. Under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? How sure all of you? You're confidently telling it as Article 21, which is right. But give me the explanation. It was under which case? The Puttaswamy case, where the right to privacy was considered to be a fundamental right under Article 21. What is Article 21? Read the sentence. Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty unless there is a procedure established by law. I can't give explanation to each and every question. Okay, those which I can within our time limits, I'll just explain. Procedure established by law. Okay, that is what it says. We had discussed about the Menaka Gandhi case, do you remember? What is the Article 21 saying? No person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty unless there is a procedure established by law. So does that mean if a law is being established, can your personal life and liberty be snatched away? This has to be understood by reading the Menaka Gandhi case, after which the Supreme Court is taking a liberal interpretation of the constitution or a liberal interpretation of the fundamental rights. So what it said, whatever laws that are being made by the parliament should be just, fair and right. So which means we are also adopting to what is known as the due process of law. Okay, so what Supreme Court is trying to do is gradually, slowly implementing the directive principles into fundamental rights. Okay, so all these things understand fundamentally. So tomorrow question might be of something else. Of privacy bit, they can ask something else. So you have to know the essence of it. Okay, this looks easy. The other question might look difficult. Okay, so please be aware of all the things. What is the answer? The longest border? What about Kazakhstan and Russia? No. China and India? Over 3,000 kilometers, but still no. Chile and Argentina? See, it is so big. But still, Canada and US have the. Which of the following statements about the ethics committee in the Lok Sabha is correct? First of all, why this question? I told you yesterday. It was because of that lady, Mohu Mitra. She was suspended by the ethics committee for that cash for query scam or something. Anyway, so what lesson we have to learn? Things in news, read it in detail. Okay. Initially, it was an ad hoc committee. Only a member of the Lok Sabha can make a complaint relating to the unethical conduct of a member of Lok Sabha. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice. In the parliament, the parliamentary committees, there are two types of committees. One is an ad hoc committee, one is a standing committee. Standing committees are categorized into 6. Financial committees, under which there is public accounts committee, estimates committee, then committee for public undertakings. In which of the committees you find the ethics committee? There is something called as committees to inquire. Financial committees, departmental standing committees, committees to inquire, under which you have committees for privileges, committees for petitions, and an ethics committee. Okay, so when we were reading it, we have read it, you have to remember it. I have made it you right. You are not able to recall it, but we have written it in the notes. After the parliament chapter, we have written it in the notes. So ethics committee was one subcommittee under committees to inquire. Okay, so the question was about this. And I am only telling you, we wouldn't have discussed all these things in the class. It was your duty to add which was there in current affairs. Because if we read every part of the constitution in detail, it will take more than 2 years. Are you understanding? And we have done masters in political science for 2 years. That too with so many, many things which I cannot say here because it's on record. So you cannot learn the entire constitution so, in a precise manner in this limited period of time. So what you have to do, you have to read the limited syllabus, add current affairs along with it. So this is one such example. Okay, so we'll come straight with my statement. Initially it was an ad hoc committee. True or false? I told you it's a permanent committee. The statement is initially it was an ad hoc committee. True or false? It is true. It was made a permanent committee. There is one committee in Rajya Sabha, one in Lok Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, it was in 1997. In Lok Sabha, it was constituted in 2000. So the first statement is right. Only a member of Lok Sabha can make a complaint relating to unethical conduct of a member of Lok Sabha. It is wrong. Even a common man can do it. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice. Is it right? It is right. Anything that is in court, how can they decide about it? So 2 is wrong. Option 1 and 3 are right. Okay. Again, interesting. A writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court or High Courts to whom? A writ of prohibition. A government officer prohibiting him from taking a particular action, a parliament or a legislative assembly to pass a law or prohibition, a lower court prohibiting continuation of proceedings in a case, the government prohibiting it from following an unconstitutional policy. ప్రవళిక చెప్పండి. We know what are writs, right? The examiner, I don't know why he has given it, it's so simple. At least he could have confused us by giving what is certiorari also. There are 2 types of writs, there are 5, but certiorari and prohibition looks very similar. Certiorari is a writ issued by Supreme Court to High Court or Higher Court to lower courts. When the judgment is already given, they're telling it to give it to us, give it to Higher Court. But prohibition is, even before the verdict has come, it is taking it to upper court. Illeno confusion illa. C is direct answer. Government is then sambandhane illa illi. Because this is given to judicial or subjudicial body, quasi-judicial bodies like tribunals. Okay, there is no confusion at all in this. See, if they had given, issued by the Supreme Court or High Court to lower courts after the verdict has come, or passing it to the higher court, then there would have been a confusion saying this is certiorari or prohibition. But here there is no confusion at all. Okay, so option C is right. Yeah, this is also a good question. Consider the following statements. It is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of that state as a scheduled tribe. A community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state need not be so in another state. What is the right answer? Both 1 and 2 is absolutely wrong. It is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of that state as scheduled tribe is wrong. It is because it is the president. So 1 is wrong. A community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state need not be so in another state. True or false? Huh? True. It is true. How? You can check, a person who is belonging to a scheduled caste in Karnataka will be OBC in Andhra Pradesh. A person who is OBC in the state list is general in the central list. There is no definite thing in India. Different states, there are different, even though if it is notified by the president. Why this is there? A person belonging to a particular community might be very dominant in Madhya Pradesh, but might not be as dominant as in Madhya Pradesh in Karnataka. Those communities might be enjoying better economic resources somewhere else. If you have read the Indian Society, in Srinivasan, who talks about this, says there is nothing called as upper and lower caste. It is about the dominant and non-dominant caste. You can see some districts. You can imagine there is a district where there is 70% population of scheduled castes and 10% Brahmins and other upper castes. Who is the dominant community here? Scheduled castes. Are you understanding? So this dominant and non-dominant caste is what they say. So based on this principle also, these same communities might be enjoying better resources somewhere and in no better resources in another state. So you have to understand and say that they enjoy different status in different states. So this is right. Okay, so it need not be same, and 2 is right. Okay. With reference to the union budget, consider the following statements. The union's finance minister, on behalf of the Prime Minister, lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of Parliament. At the union level, no demand for a grant can be made except on the recommendation of the President of India. Yeah, which is the right statement. The Union Finance Minister, on behalf of the Prime Minister, lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of Parliament. I have one question to you. ಮೋದಿನೂ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಂತಾನೆ, ಅವನೇ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಓದ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು. Then why will Nirmala Sitharaman do it? It's because she is doing it on behalf of not the Prime Minister but the President. So option 1 is wrong. So option 1 is wrong. Second statement, at the union level, no demand for a grant can be made except on the recommendation of the President. How a budget is passed, if you remember, something called as first reading, second reading, third reading, then it will be put for demand for a grant. It should be voted. Even after that, there should be appropriation act that should be passed for the money to be withdrawn. So demand for a grant must be done on the recommendation of the President itself. So second statement is right. The answer is 2 only. Okay. See, we were talking about Sahel region, Red Sea region, ella current affairs. With reference to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. While any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is under consideration, he shall not preside, he shall not have the right to speak, he shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. Sarah, what is the right answer? When such a resolution is passed, will the Speaker preside over it? Will he preside? In case ನೀವೇ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಾ? He shall not preside. First option is right. He shall not have the right to speak. Who is the Speaker? Who is the Speaker? Huh? Head. Okay, who is he? Basically, Speaker is a MP. So you are electing one among them only. If he is not the Speaker, he has the right to speak. So option 2 is wrong. He shall not have the right to speak is wrong. He has the right to speak. And first of all, it is a natural justice If your allegation has been done, you should have the right to speak. He shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. He shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. Wrong. Can he vote? Can he vote? He cannot vote. He can vote. He can and he cannot. Both are right. He can vote at first instance, but he cannot vote during a casting vote when there is a tie. But when he was a speaker, he could vote only when there was a tie during the casting vote. But now, no. He can vote at the first instance. So what is right? Only this is right. Both of them are wrong. Okay? With reference to the Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. A bill pending in Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. A bill passed by Lok Sabha and pending in Rajya Sabha lapses on dissolution of Lok Sabha. A bill called for a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. I'll teach you one formula. Remember, bills originating or pending in Lok Sabha will lapse. Okay? Bills originating, pending in Rajya Sabha will not lapse. Okay? Anything called for a joint sitting will not lapse. In more matra ketkoli nenu jaasti beda. Bills originating and pending in Lok Sabha will lapse. Bills originating and pending in Rajya Sabha will not lapse. Imagine if the bill has originated in Rajya Sabha and pending in Lok Sabha will not lapse. But originated in Lok Sabha will lapse. Called for joint sitting also will not lapse. Now, have this in your head. A bill pending in Lok Sabha lapses on its dissolution. It will lapse. Lok Sabha pending is. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. Huh? No. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha and pending in the Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. Okay, let's skip it. Third one. A bill with regard to which the President has notified for a joint sitting lapses. Definitely false. See the option. Okay, now take a risk and answer something. Because of that option iradu. It lapses or not lapses? It lapses. It lapses. But if this was ulta, it wouldn't have lapsed. Okay, because it is from the Lok Sabha. Okay, so option 1 and 2 are right. If this was only, ulta agididre, it wouldn't have lapsed. Okay. Okay. With reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. Prorogation of a house by the President of India does not require the advice of Council of Ministers. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die, but there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President of India, who, save in exceptional circumstances, does so on the advice of the Council of Ministers. You tell me, among these three statements, on which statement are you 100% confident? It's correct to anta. Where we're 100% sure, we'll start like that. Did you get what I told you? Third statement, Nodi. Dissolution of the Lok Sabha is done by the President on the advice of Council of Ministers. Correct, Alvado? So 3 is right, which means forget about this. Now look at the board. 1 hoito. 1 is definitely wrong. Why? President on biscuit tinbeku andre Prime Minister kele madbeku. Okay, so this is not an exaggeration. Whatever the President does, he will do it on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, headed by the Prime Minister. Prorogation also is done by the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. 1 is gone. Now again, risk 50-50. Kaun bareya crorepati agidare, you can take 50-50. But see what you will do. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die. Correct, Alva? Adjournment is when the date is mentioned. Adjournment sine die when the date was not mentioned by the Speaker. After that, President will come and prorogue the House. Correct, right? And it can also be done, by the President. But when he is doing that also, during the session, it will be done on the advice of the Council of Ministers. So 2 is right. Okay, so 2 and 3 is right. Okay. So this is about polity. Ashtana irada? Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. What did you understand from polity? Or why did I do polity in the beginning? 81 na? Yen 81 no? Nari Shakti is not polity according to me, it is current affairs. It is purely current affairs. Okay. I'll tell you, we'll go there. Okay. Now everyone should answer the first question. Looking at the board. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. The atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. Statement 2. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. This is very, very easy, but think and answer. First to decide which is wrong, which is right. Statement 1, right or wrong? Wrong. Why? Once it is heated, we know normal lapse rate, we saw many reasons why the temperature was decreasing as we went higher. It was because of terrestrial radiation. So obviously, first statement is wrong. Second one. So if first statement is wrong, both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Oitala. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 1 is correct. You can do this also. But anyway, we'll look at the second statement. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. Short wave radiation is solar insolation, solar radiation. Terrestrial radiation is long wave radiation, which will be absorbed by the greenhouse gases, which is why there is life on Earth. I think I told you. Or else Earth would have been frozen. Correct, Alva? It is balancing the temperature. So option D is right. Right? This is also again easy. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. Thickness of the, troposphere, we know what it is. Thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to the poles. Wait. At the equator, heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statements? Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, but statement 2 does not explain statement 1. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Take a minute and give the right answer. Thickness of the troposphere at the equator is greater. Correct or sulla? Correct. At the equator, heat is transported to greater heights by strong convectional currents. Right. Is it the right explanation? It is the right explanation. That is why it is thicker at the equators. That is the right explanation. One option A is right here. Most of them are confused about this, but A is the right answer. Okay, so option 1 is right here. Okay, now move to the third question. Okay, I think you can answer this again. Consider the following: pyroclastic debris, ash and dust, nitrogen compounds, sulfur compounds. Which of them are part of the volcanic eruptions? We have written everything, all the four. All four are right. So there's nothing to discuss here. Which of the following is or are correct inferences from the isothermal map? We have read this recently. The isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean, and to the south over the continent. The presence of cold ocean currents, Gulf Stream and North Atlantic drift make the North Atlantic Ocean colder and the isotherms bend towards the north. ಎರಡನ್ನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ you think and answer. And most of you know it. If it is colder, will it dip north or south? Second statement correct ಆಗೋದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ, and you see the first also. First one is, I think almost of it is right. Read the second statement again. Isotherms will bend north or south if it is colder. When we saw the isotherms, when it came to the continents, it dipped south, which means temperature was lower on the oceans, it was higher. So second statement is wrong. Option 1 is only correct here. Okay, one only. Whole statement is right except the word. Okay. See, we were talking about different regions, right? There we were talking about different products. Coca. Which region was it grown in? Huh? No, I'm not talking the country. Climatic region, agroclimatic region. We have written, that is why, revise. Okay, anyway, tell me what is the right answer. I think all of you know it. We know it is Ghana. So if Ghana was there in some other option, it would have been difficult. But this is pretty easy. It is the Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. It is there in the Western Africa. We had Indian geography, we had drawn the map, no? So you answer me. With reference to the Himalayan rivers joining the Ganga downstream of Prayagraj from west to east, which one of the following sequence is correct? See, the question is so intelligent. Downstream of Prayagraj, Allahabad, in the Akade, which is right, which is from west to east anta. Why? What is the first river that is joining Ganga? Huh? What is the first river that is joining Ganga? You remember? Gomti, Ramganga. Alli avaru, they're very tricky about this. So you think and analyze and answer. Okay, others? B. Are you sure? How sure? Huh? Sorry? Tell me the sequence then. It is correct, but what is the sequence? Because in some other exam, they might not give you this option. They might ask you east to west, whatever. They might ask you right bank tributaries. Tell me the right bank tributaries of Ganga. Yado? Yamuna. Anyway, option B is right. Gomti, Gagra, Gandak and Kosi. Consider the following statements. Rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks. Rainwater contains carbon dioxide in the solution. Rainwater contains atmospheric oxygen. Which one of the following is correct with respect to the above statements? Is it visible? Both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1. Both statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Only one of the statements 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. Neither statement 2 nor statement 3 is correct. The options are easy. The statements are easy. Options are confusing. So think for 30 seconds and answer. Read it again. Read it again properly and answer. Veda Samhita. Karthik. Option B. A. Definitely A. It is very simple. Sumne other statements kotti that are trying to confuse. All the 3 are right. Okay. You know why I make you to write when there is mapping? When this kind of a question comes, can you imagine a map? You cannot. This map will not be there in front of you. It is after all the words that will be there. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? When I say write the bordering countries of Israel, you might feel it is foolish, or childish. But when this kind of question comes, you feel easy, and you will not be able to answer it. No, you don't know how you will feel it in the exam. Tell me what is the right answer. And where is North Sea? North of UK, United Kingdom. Tell me what is the right answer. Consider the following countries: Finland, Germany, Norway, Russia. How many of the above countries have a border with North Sea? Don't see there. Does Finland share? No. Finland shares the border with Baltic Sea. Germany? Huh? Yes. Norway? Norway, Sweden, Finland is alva. Norway is on the west. It shares. Russia? No. Russia has towards Baltic Sea, because I had shown you on the maps there is something called as Kaliningrad. You see how you will do mapping? Because one question is definitely coming. North Sea, Baltic Sea. Norway is there, Denmark is there, Germany is there, UK is there, but that was not there in the option. You see this? If they had asked you Baltic Sea, Russia is nowhere here. But I had showed you this is a part of Russia. Kaliningrad. Okay, why they are asking you about North Sea, Baltic Sea? You have to understand, it is because of the conflicts happening around in this region. Okay, so who knows in KPSC, they will not ask you a question about the countries bordering Israel, the countries bordering Mediterranean Sea, countries bordering Red Sea. Kelalva, they might ask. So that is why you have to write and practice, because this map will not be there in front of you. Okay, so what was the right option there? Only Germany, Norway. No Russia, no Finland. Only 2. Answer me. We have done this. Duandar waterfalls is definitely on Narmada river, but not on Malwa plateau. We had written the entire map, if you remember. Malwa is not located there, it is a bit west. Hundru is there on Chota Nagpur and Subarnarekha. Let us leave this. So one is wrong. Geru Soppa is Jog Falls. It is there on Western Ghats. What is the name of the river? Sharavati. Hundru is on Subarnarekha river and on Chota Nagpur plateau itself. So, only one. These questions idre, elimination technique will not at all work. You have to know each and everything. This is not there in KPSC, so you solva bachavaste. Very good, I like this question. You solve it. Yeah, what is the right answer? Was this? Is it in Central Asia? It is in Europe. And first of all, it is not a fold mountain. Wrong. Europe, Alps, Block Mountain. Tegri disaster is I have showed you on the natural disaster map. Himalayas we saw Alps. Fold was there, no? We were seeing that it is a zone of, where one is getting subducted over the other. So it is a fold mountain. So, wrong. This is right, this is right, this is wrong. North America, Appalachians, fold mountains. Western part of North America, Appalachian mountains, is a product of convergence and it is a fold mountains in the Pacific. South America, Andes, fold mountains, correct. Both of them are right. So, only two. Okay. You look at the nature of the questions. You cannot miss one small detail also. Okay. You cannot miss a small detail. Are you understanding? Yeah. Consider the following airports. Doni Polo Airport, Kushinagar International Airport, Vijayawada International Airport. Which of them is constructed as a greenfield project? What is a greenfield project? No. Green is not always associated with environment. Anyway, you answer. What is a greenfield project, first of all? Mysore to Bangalore highway was constructed, no? Is it a greenfield or a brownfield project? It is a brownfield project. Already the project improvement madadre. If they buy new lands where no roads were existing earlier, that is a greenfield project. From Bangalore to Chennai, they are building a new corridor, not on the older one. That is a greenfield project. So, if you build a airport in Mysore, that is a brownfield project because airport is already existing there. Are you understanding? Greenfield starting from the scratch. Doni Polo Airport was built like that. It is in Arunachal Pradesh, Itanagar. Kushinagar International Project is there in northern part of Uttar Pradesh. That was also a greenfield project. Vijayawada International Airport, no. So 1 and 2. Very easy. Very easy. With reference to water vapor, which of the following statement is correct? It is a gas, the amount of which decreases with altitude. Its percentage is maximum at the poles. Rachel, higher temperature means it has a higher capacity of holding water vapor. The temperature will increase or decrease as you go higher. It will decrease. Its capacity to withhold water vapor will decrease. Read the first statement. Decreases with altitude. Correct, Alva? Its percentage is maximum at the poles. How can it be? It is 4% at equator, less than 1% at poles. We have written it recently. Why? Temperature less there. So what is the right option? Very easy. Very easy. A. Consider the following description. So nice. Annual and daily range of temperature is low. Range of temperature is low, which means extremity is not existing here. So definitely it is not a steepy. Definitely it is not a continental. Precipitation occurs throughout the year. Precipitation varies between 50 to 250 centimeters. Wait, think and answer. Don't. Huh? ಯಾವುದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Will precipitation exist throughout the year? See, definitely all the options are close to this. Yesterday also we saw in China type also there is precipitation throughout the year, but definitely not 250 centimeters, and that too in winters, snowfall. So slightly we can avoid this. Because it is 50, we can avoid this. Humid subtropical and maritime west coast is a confusion now. Why? During, the westerlies will shift down south, the rainfall can be higher. When it is north, it still receive rainfall because of the influence of westerlies only, but not as much as in winters. The closest answer is maritime west coast. Because in humid subtropical, in the subtropical area, it is always monsoonal. There is a definite pattern of rainfall. Most of the times it is not distributed throughout the year. All of them looks close. We have to jump into that, we'll feel the urge to jump into the answer, but the right option is maritime west coast. Okay? Easy for you again. With reference to Coriolis force, which of the following statement is correct? It increases with increase in wind velocity. It is maximum at the poles and absent at the equator. Yeah, tell me. Everyone know the answer? Coriolis force is maximum at poles and absent at equator. Correct or false? Correct. You remember on that day when we drew the map, you wrote 0% to 100% there. 86% you had written, no? I had explained you also. When you're sitting on a globe, when you're at the edge, when this is turning, the topmost is more this thing to fall, has high chance to fall, than which is there at the axis. Fan alli central itre bega beelalla, edge alli tuck anta bidagutte. So definitely it is second option is right. It is maximum at the poles and absent at the equator. It increases with increase in wind velocity is definitely right. Anything that is rotating, if you increase the velocity, it will increase. So both 1 and 2. Okay, anyway. Again, it is easy. On June 21st every year, which of the following latitudes experiences a sunlight of more than 12 hours? It is very easy. Okay, at least you tell me, in summer, in June, the sun will be overhead on equinoxial, it will be overhead on equator alva. This is summer, June andre. It is overhead on tropic of, so definitely 2 is right. Alva. Now you tell me, any other thing? Arctic Circle also, because over the Arctic Circle in summer 6 months is full daylight. But if it was December or January, it would have been Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle. Okay, so what is the right option? 2 and 4. Okay. We'll take this as the last question because we have to continue with our class also. Okay, remaining things we'll do in the remaining classes. Answer this. One of the following regions has the world's largest tropical peatland, which holds about 3 years worth of global carbon emissions from fossil fuels, and the possible destruction of which can exert detrimental effect on global climate. Which of the following denotes that region? Whenever I am doing geography, if you remember, I will talk about thawing of the frost, environmental concerns. This is a very good example of how this is not just geography, but environment, current affairs, all mixed together. That is why when we are teaching for a class, we cannot stick ourselves to one subject. It's not at all possible. Okay, anyway, answer. Tropical means where there is rainfall. Amazon basin, yes, it can exist. Congo basin, it can exist. Kikori basin, you know where it is? You don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Rio de la Plata, it is there in South America. Anyway, all of them looks like tropical wetland itself. See, if it was something like Saudi or something else, we could have eliminated it. All of them looks like, and you don't know a few, so they're tropical. There is no other choice but having this knowledge of the current affairs. So the option is Congo basin. It was in news recently also. Okay, ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, where you find the petroleum products ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, the time if it is decomposed for millions of years, you get petroleum. If the timeline has reduced, you get peat. That is the first stage of that. It is a cycle that will be happening every day. Okay, so that is existing in the Congo basin. Okay, so can we stop here? It's already 1 o'clock. We'll see the other questions tomorrow. Okay, how many did we cover approximately? 30, 35?